Hello and welcome to La Cosecha 2020. Welcome to Lectorum's virtual booth. My name is Alex Correa. I'm the president and CEO of the company. I'm here with Hilda Viskovic, our manager for educational sales. And also with us is going to be Margie Samper, who is the collections manager, collection development manager. I just want to take this short opportunity to remind you that our selection process, by the way, this is just a small sample of the titles. Our selection process is a very, very strict one. We read in excess of 1,000 titles from K through 8. And every single title, we read it carefully and make sure that if it's a picture book, if the illustrations are proper, that there's no discrimination against any race, religion, gender, etc. Also, we make sure that it has good content, and also that the Spanish that is written is a good Spanish. So with that, I'm going to leave you with Hilda.
Hello, as Alex said, I'm Hilda Viscovic, Educational Sales Manager of Lectorum Publications. In here we have new releases, translations, we have authentic literature, we have some of Lectorum's books for grades 4 to 6, and non-fiction. We have all kinds of books in math, science, and engineering, and they are very good for your STEM programs. Now, Marjorie Samper will present some of the new books, the ones that have got our attention, and she will introduce them to you.
Hilda and I had the difficult task of picking our favorites, so we wanted to share some of these books. This one is called, it's a translation from English, it's called La Niña que tenía dos papás. And this little girl meets another girl in school, and she cannot wait to go to her house because she's convinced that the girl who has two dads, they're not going to have any rules of any kind, and she'll be able to do everything she wants. And when she goes to the house and she sees that, the girl has to listen to the parents and they just can't have like ice cream for dinner, that's when she realizes, oh, okay, this is like more normal than I thought, and it's really a very cute way to show alternative families. And here's another book which is called Los Carpinchos, which are capybaras in South America. Even I had to look up that word because I didn't know what it was. And it is about this family of these animals that one day shows up in a chicken coop. And they had to leave their land because it was hunting season. And they see this wonderful chicken coop where there's always food, and they think it's wonderful, but of course the chickens aren't too happy with like these newcomers. And it isn't until a chick and a baby capybara meet each other, and then they realize that they're not so different after all, and then the families get along. And it's a very little text, and you can see they're pretty simple illustrations, and it teaches children about refugees, people who have to leave their home because of violence, without ever bringing up something like war. And here's a book originally written in Spanish. It's called Mi Lacerilla, Mi Capitan. And it's a very beautiful story. Again, another one with a subtle message, where this little girl walks with her father to school every day. He's blind. And she's fascinated by like everything that he can hear. And then they imagine all sorts of things. I mean, she has some eyesight problems, but nothing, of course, nearly like her dad. And it really is a great way to show special needs and how people get along, they overcome their disabilities, and in fact they make it a little adventure. Here's another one of my favorites. It's called Mi Abuelo. And it's about this little boy whose grandfather is a hero. He fought in a war and even has a letter from the president of the country where this is situated in. They never do say where or what war it is. And the little boy learns so much from his grandfather, so he starts to write everything down. And he shows the grandfather the list, and then he realizes his grandfather doesn't know how to read. Throughout all the time when he was younger, he worked or was in the war, and he never learned. And so the grandfather learns how to read and write, which is something else he didn't know. And the little boy brings what the grandfather writes to his teacher. And the teacher gives him a great grade. And if I can find the picture, this is really, I thought, which was fabulous. He originally had of course I can't find it now, but he originally had the framed letter from the president. But when he gets the paperback graded from the teacher with an excellent on it, he takes out the letter and he puts the teacher's message in there. So it's a wonderful story. It has literacy. It has 2 generations. It's really a great book. This one just came in like 2 days ago. I'm sure everyone is familiar with Christian Robinson. This is called You Matter. Again, another book with very little text. And it teaches very young children, it doesn't matter how small you are, even if you fall, if you fail, you matter. And I think it's a perfect book for these sort of uncertain times when children feel a little uneasy. It really has a fabulous message, and it's very simple to read. Okay, now we're moving into some nonfiction. Here's a book. It's a biography on Greta Thunberg, and it tells children about her life, and it also will encourage them to go out and maybe make a difference themselves. It even shows, back here, children doing protests, and I'm sure every kid in America has seen protests on TV, so it gives them a focus. And this one is really very accessible. It's written by Jeanette Winter, who has written many books. So I think this one is great for many different reasons. And sort of related to Los Carpinchos, but this one kind of tells you what it's about. This is ¿Qué es un refugiado? And again, with very, very little text and very simple illustrations, it teaches children why some people have to leave their countries, and they're maybe not always so accepted where they end up, but they're people and they're children, and it really is a great way to introduce them to the topic of refugees. And then the last book I'm going to talk about is called Cuánto calor es un grado más. And it tells people that you say, okay, well, if there's global warming and it's supposed to be 50 degrees and now it's 52 degrees, well, what does that really mean? Does it make a difference? And this book talks about small changes, how, in the climate really do make a difference, and it wreaks havoc, and it gives kids in the back all sorts of ideas of what they can do to stem the tide. And now Hilda's going to talk about a few of the other books.
As Alex said, I'm Hilda Viscovic. I'm the Educational Sales Manager of Lectorum Publications. Lectorum is celebrating its 60th anniversary, and unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we haven't been able to celebrate. However, these 60 years, we have been assisting administrators, teachers, coordinators, and librarians preparing the materials for the programs for ESL dual language and bilingual. We have been preparing customized lists for hundreds of teachers and administrators, and those lists are available to you. You can communicate with me at Lectorum Hilda H. Viscovic at Lectorum Publications. You will see the email in your screen. You can request and give me specifications, and we'll send you a complete list of materials that you may be able to use. Lectorum published last year a booklet named Mercy. We did the Spanish translation. It came out as a beautiful book, perfect for grades 1 to 3, full of color. This book has already become a bestseller. Also, this year, we published the 6 titles of the Mercy Watson chapter books. Children will not be able to resist Mercy's spirit and exploit. The books are also in color and perfect for the chapter books and perfect for grades 2 to 4. Narval. This is the 3rd book in the series, in the Narval series, and in this book he discovered the peanut butter and jelly. He became obsessed with this new favorite book, and this leads him to funny and hilarious situations. From Christopher Paul Curtis, the Newbery medalist author, we bring his new book, The Journey of Little Charlie. In this book, Christopher Paul, with his humor and heart, he deals with a situation of a little boy who is struggling with the evils of the earth. It's a beautiful story, and this book is perfect for grades 5 to 6. From the creepy case files of Marlo Magoo, we bring the first 2 books in Spanish, Los espeluznantes casos de Margot Malou and Margot Malou y los chicos del centro comercial. These books deliver a fresh and funny take on the age-old battle between kids and closet-dwelling monsters. This is a graphic novel. These books are graphic novels.
Well, thank you, Hilda, and I want to remind you that we're launching Lectorum Makemake Digital Library. It's a library of very unique, authentic Latin American books. In excess of 150 beautiful electronic books in a platform. It's available right now for schools and for public libraries. All the information is right here in the virtual booth, or you can also write to us, request information, and we'll send you a free demo. Right, so thank you so much for being with us, for coming to the virtual booth. And a couple of things that I want to stress out. First, what Hilda already said, you can send any list request, any customized list that you need by themes, by grade, by type of book, and we'll work on that. Hilda and Margie will work on that. Also, you can, here in the virtual booth, request a one-on-one meeting with Hilda. So you can do that right here. And again, thank you so much for being with us, and we hope to see you personally in 2021. So until then, thank you so much. Bye-bye.